I'm able to look into someone's heart and into someone's mind and change the way that they believe and change the way that they act.
Hmm.
And one of the things is connecting these men to God. So we have a daily practice, our daily routine of, all the men inside the brotherhood. We read the Bible, we read portions of the Bible every single day. And this opens up for us to get some guidance from God.
Welcome to the Mindful Hustle, the show where inner work meets outer results. I'm Donnie, and if you feel called to do big things in business while staying true to your highest self, you're in the right place. Get this. Studies in cognitive neuroscience reveal that up to 95% of our actions and decisions are driven by subconscious identity patterns. So if your business isn't scaling, it's likely not your strategy, it's your self-concept. At Reality Realization Institute, we specialize in helping business owners rewire who they believe they are so the results align automatically. You can book a free strategy session at realityrealization.org/call. Now, let's hop into today's podcast. Today's guest is Daniel Krynzel, founder of the Big Balls Brotherhood, where he guides men to unleash their God-given mission through power, connection, and brotherhood. In this episode, we dive into Daniel's journey, the mindset it takes to step boldly into your purpose, and why true transformation happens when you lead with faith, courage, and community. Let's get into it. And thank you, Daniel, for hopping on today's episode.
Yeah, thank you, Donnie, for having me. I'm excited.
All right, let's start here. Was there a moment in your life or business when something just clicked and everything changed? Perhaps a mindset shift or a realization that really reshaped your path?
Yeah, about 5 years ago, I was just coming into my 22nd year of the mortgage industry, massive success, bunch of money coming in. I had $100,000 hit my account. I wasn't even expecting. It was very, very lucrative, and I felt terrible inside. I remember praying and asking God, like, what's wrong with me? I should feel good. We just got another 100 grand, and there's more coming. It's only the fifth day of the month. Like, this is a great month already. I heard his voice. He told me to shut it down. He told me my season was over in the mortgage industry. And so I listened, I shut it down, and I went on the path and the journey that I'm on today.
Wow. And tell us, what is that journey for you right now? What shifted for you?
Yeah. So what I needed to understand was that every man they were given gifts and talents at birth. Certain gifts, certain talents. And these gifts and talents were given to these men, every man, to be able to actually use it for mission for God. So what I was feeling, this emptiness inside, this unfulfillment, was because I wasn't using my gifts and my talents properly for God inside the mission that He had for me. That
Mm.
was the problem.
And when you had this realization, did it feel as an experience that was all of a sudden out of the blue, or did you have a kind of like a feeling towards this, like maybe something's not right, maybe I need a shift, or was it really just a spontaneous kind of awakening experience for you?
What was an awakening when, you feel the urge to shut down a, $1 million organization.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we have a lot of responsibility and we've got a lot of people. I had a bunch of employees, my family, like everything, a lot of bills. Your lifestyle definitely increases when you make a lot of money. I just was in fear, but I had to push through it. I had to make the decision. I had to follow that guidance, that voice. And I'm really glad that I did.
So tell us a little bit more about where that journey led you. What are you doing now with the Big Balls Brotherhood?
Yeah. So what's exciting about what I'm doing now is I'm connecting men to God. And I'm actually teaching and training these men to become stronger men. Every man that hangs out with me, they become stronger. They just do. It's a gift that God gave me. I'm able to look into someone's heart and into someone's mind and change the way that they believe and change the way that they act, change the actions that they take. And one of the things is connecting these men to God. So we have a daily practice, our daily routine of, all the men inside the brotherhood. We read the Bible, we read portions of the Bible every single day. And this opens up for us to get some guidance from God. And when we get this guidance, we actually have a set of mission actual commitments that we need to take on a daily basis for God. What's really incredible about it is that a lot of men know what they're supposed to do. They've been getting this tap on the shoulder. They've been getting this urge. Like they know they're not in the right business. They know they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. The problem is they won't make the move because they're in that jail of safety or that jail of certainty or that jail of fear. And this is where the big balls brotherhood, where we work on their strength, we work on their wealth, we work on their leadership, ultimately so they can be a part of their mission that God has for them. So we do a lot inside the brotherhood. So it's really hard to just answer that like quickly. We
Yeah.
connect men to God, we get them to actually get revelation, get guidance on their mission, and then we teach them how to have the biggest balls they've ever had to take action on what they're supposed to be doing for God.
So, what are some of the insights you've gained during this work? Some of the core issues, the core limitations that men face when they have to reconnect to God and go through that journey?
A lot of men are worried about what other people think. That's a killer.
Hmm.
They're worried about, well, what's my wife going to say when I tell my wife I've been reading the Bible and God told me to do this, or God gave me this vision, or gave me this picture, or gave me this tap on the shoulder.
Hmm.
They're worried about what other people are going to think, or what is my job going to think if I quit and build my own business, or what's society going to think? What's the neighborhood going to think when I profess my love for God and that I can connect with God on a daily basis? That's
Hmm.
one of the major things that we have to deal with.
And as you go through this journey working with these men and helping them recondition their understanding of themselves, their purpose in life, when they start to develop this new way of seeing things, this new way of acting, and start to develop this belief in themselves, what are some of the outcomes that you are looking to see in them that's kind of proving that they're really taking in the message and moving forward?
Yeah. We have measurables inside of our program, meaning we have four pillars that we focus on. We have strength, wealth, leadership, and mission. So inside the strength pillar, how strong are these men? Like, are you actually lifting bigger weights
Hmm.
from this week versus last week? Are the weights heavier? It's a very easy measurable. Or mental strength. Did you actually commit to the commitments that you made? Did you actually follow through with all the commitments? It's mental strength. It's a very easy way to calculate it. Same thing with wealth. Are you on the path or did you make more money this week versus last week? Are you on the path for promotion if you have a job? Are you on the path to scale your business? Do you have income that is working for you when you're sleeping? Do you have investments? That's the wealth pillar that we work on. And then the leadership is, are you becoming a better father? Are you a better husband as a result of you being connected to God and you being a stronger man, making more money, being connected and being guided? And then the last measurable is mission. Are you doing what God wants you to do? Are you on mission for God? What you're doing, does it count? Are you living on purpose? That's how we can see, and the results are crazy. When you connect and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, Donnie, life never is the same, ever.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm curious to know, since we are a podcast really focused on reality creation, using kind of your mind to shift your perspective, seek out new opportunities, things like that. I'm curious with the faith work you've been doing with these men, have you seen any sort of like supernatural blessings bestowed upon them, like any experiences like that for these men?
So, no, I wouldn't say supernatural.
Hmm.
There's work involved with anything that you're doing. So, I don't want anyone to think that this message is around, God is a genie in the bottle. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is when you have the proper guidance, when you have actually inspiration from God, go here, do this, start this, work with these kids, work with these adults, work in this industry. When you start hearing this, when you start getting these taps on your shoulder, these promptings, and then you start actually taking action, I've seen success blow up, explode before your very eyes because now they're on the right mission. Now they're on the right path.
See,
That's what's exciting to see.
yeah, definitely. And how did your own faith journey impact you throughout the years? And when you had made the shift from your previous business to this, did you find that your relationship with God increased? Due to this, was there a pivotal moment prior to that in your relationship to God that you would say allowed you to hear that voice that told you to shut things down? What was
Yeah.
that experience like?
Yeah. So, first off, it's consistency. So,
Hmm.
it's in the morning. You have to win your morning. If you don't win your morning, you're screwed. Donnie, I'm just telling you right now. If you sleep in, you snooze your dreams away, and you don't make a connection in the morning to God, you have no guidance, you have no direction. Now you're operating on just you and your mindset. So I started building this routine. It started 15 years ago. It got super stringent and super strong about 5 years ago, to where it was every single morning I would get up before the sun was up and I'd go for a walk with God. It was a walk and talk with God.
Hmm.
And I would literally open up with some gratitude and then I would just ask for some guidance and for some advice. Then I started using some software. And the software that I would use would be questions that would prompt me. I'd be on my phone and it would be a question. So I'd read the question out loud to God. Then God would start like giving me answers and I would be recording the answers in the software. So then I'd have like a PDF or I'd have like a journal entry at the end of that walk. Because when you're spending an hour with God on a daily basis, there's a lot that comes out. So as I'm doing this every single day, I position myself to be able to trust the voice, be able
Hmm.
to trust God that it was God, it wasn't me. And when I can trust that, then things change forever.
Hmm.
Because now, again, you're living life not just by your mind, you're living life by the Creator giving you the guidance. You're living an inspired life from God.
Love that.
Yeah.
Something I'm curious of is when you mention the people you work with, it's those who have husbands who have wives, these family units, those who are really looking to push their family forward and be the leader in their household. What I'm curious of is for the younger men out there, for those just getting out of college or just entered college, what would you tell that age group looking for guidance on how to start their spiritual journey and really set themselves up to succeed in life?
Yeah. Well, we have the Bible. This is a guide for life. It really is. Now, I read the Christian Bible. That is my, I guess you call it a religion. I go to Christian church. There's some things that Christians do that I don't agree with. Don't agree with everything, but I agree with a lot of it. I think it's a great opportunity for men to be a part of. But reading the Bible, even if you're younger, you can actually learn things. You can learn about sacrifices that were made. You can learn about things that were set up in a certain way. There's 10 commandments in that Bible that tell us how to live. And if we follow those 10 commandments, if God's happy with us, then it's a good thing.
Hmm.
God wins every single time. There was a moment in time in the Old Testament to where he wasn't happy with us and he flooded the whole earth. He did. That wasn't a natural disaster. That was God going, you know what? I'm going to reset everything. And he did. So my whole point is it's all about connecting to God and doing what you're supposed to do. We're here as a gift. We're not here justified. All that crap that's been going on lately is crap. Every single day is a gift. So when we're connected to God, when we're doing what God wants us to do, this is where we live a full life.
Yeah, that's amazing. Something I'm curious about is with the work you're doing in the Brotherhood. What is the vision you have for it? What is the type of impact that you feel God's leading you to make with this?
That's a great question, man. So I have a 3 year vision. I
Mm.
can only see 3 years out for right now because that's what God has shown me. I see 200,000 men being a part of the Big Balls Brotherhood. I see 200,000 men connecting with God on a daily basis, reading the Bible inside of our software, doing the journal entries, getting the guidance, actually learning their mission and then being on mission for God. 200,000 men is literally going to change the world. We have over 8 billion people right now. 200,000 men that are strong, connected to God, live in God's mission. Our world is going to look differently,
Mhm.
starting in the US and then it's going to go globally. I am on a mission to win the spiritual battle, to help God win the spiritual battle. We've had a spiritual battle from the beginning. Before Adam and Eve, there was a spiritual battle. There was dark and there was light, and there was evil and there was good. And I'm here to fight the spiritual battle. I'm here to be on mission for God, to do everything I can to connect as many strong men to Him as I can.
Mhm. That's amazing. Big vision, but you have the skill sets. God's blessed you with the wisdom. So very excited to see what you do with this, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, this has been such a powerful conversation. Thank you for sharing so openly your story, your vision, where you have been, where you are now, and the work that you're doing with men to really prepare them for the world around them and to make them God-fearing men that are focused on making a difference in the world.
Well, thank you.
Something I like to do at the end of these episodes is to ask if you had to give one insight to men, women, those out there really trying to create a new level of life for themselves while being fulfilled as they do so, what would you tell those out there?
Yeah, there's two pieces: discipline and connection. Discipline in making commitments and actually honoring your commitments, and connection to God. You have a chance on living an inspired life, one that will be fulfilled, one that will be enough, one that will be worth it.
Before we wrap, where can the listeners connect with you and learn more about what you're doing right now?
Yeah. So if they want to be considered to be a part of the brotherhood, they can join the wait list. So depending on when this airs, there's always a wait list. So they can go to bigballsbrotherhood.com. We'll reach out to them when there's some more openings for more brothers to come in. They can also see us on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Perfect, perfect. Thanks again to you, Daniel, for sharing such real and thoughtful perspectives. And to all of you tuning in, remember, you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. So if you want to change your results, start by becoming the version of you who already has them. This is the Mindful Hustle. Until next time, be bold, be intentional, and keep realizing your reality.